Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. It's the start of the week. I figured I would give Tinkerer's Cube Draft one shot off stream. I honestly, because I don't know how long this will last. If this lasts long enough until Zendikar Rising, I will be able to do one on stream. But it might take a while. I did promise I will do an Amonkhet remastered Premier Draft on stream this coming week, so we'll be doing that. But I figured I'd give this one a try. I don't want to blindly go in without knowing anything, and I figured if I can get 3 to 4 wins, I get most of my gold back, so it's not so bad. We'll see. We're gonna put this up to the test. So you definitely don't want to bomb out on 0. You make your entry fee back at 5 wins. So this is pretty much our aim. 4 wins is acceptable, but I really want to hit 5 wins. 7 wins, very good. But doesn't matter. I'm gonna take a look at the card pool, but hard to say what to expect. All I can say is that all of the cards synergize. It's really all about synergy, so that's pretty much what we're going for. And yeah, let's just turn off some of these notifications. And this is a Premier Draft style, so we should expect some people. I don't know how popular this is. Okay, it's relatively popular if everyone comes in quickly. So we're gonna be spending quite a bit of time going over all the picks. So this would, well, okay. There's an easy one. We can take the Great Henge. Go all big. It's literally all big creatures. That said, if I wanted to go removal, there's a Flame Spill. We can expect to see almost every land type. But you have to remember, it's all about synergy, so we can't just take dumb big creatures all the time. It'd be nice if you could get Momentous Fall. That would be reasonable. But let's go with the Great Henge first. Then let's see how many big creatures we can pick up following that. And okay, I might be slightly disappointed. There is a Crocodile of the Crossing. It's something we can start. There's an Embodiment of Agonies. There's a Mythos of Eluna. It's a good way to copy creatures. If I want to go into removal, there's Fate's Fetters, and it's possible we can hit some big creatures there as well. We passed red, so we missed the Flame Spill. We're probably going to miss the Fateful End also. Black has some big stuff. We do need to fill up the graveyard, so that looks like a black strategy. There's also life gain. I'll take the Crocodile for now. Let's see. Also, we got Multani. So this one's also a bit of synergy. We have to look for land ramp. That's one thing we can go for. Passing quite a bit for removal, but let's see if we can solidify on green first. It's a way to experiment. We'll see how well this goes. And I guess now we can start picking removal. We passed quite a bit, but there's still an Eldest Reborn which we can use to, say, buy back Multani, buy back Crocodile. There's a Wanderer's Strike if we want to go into white. Runaway Steamkin. Green-red is reasonable, but we passed quite a bit of red. I think I want to keep passing. Wanderer's Strike. Unfortunately, this is sorcery. If I'm going to do a sorcery speed removal, I'd rather kind of do this. Though the Proliferate is kind of relevant here. Okay, maybe I wish I went into white. There's Cub Warden. We can hopefully pick up some really cheap creatures that are non-human. We can try to mutate onto stuff. Maybe if we're lucky, we run into a Migratory Greathorn. We do see some commons, so those exist. And it's either that or what? Carrion Grub? That's actually a good way to get its greatest power among creatures in your yard. Multani unfortunately does not have a CDA, so I am willing to risk it though. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can get some. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can get some reanimation. We did pass quite a bit of mill. Like, okay, now we got the Hero of the Acolyte of Afflictions. If we can't get anything big, Soul Stinger kind of fits there, but we'll take the Acolyte first. It's a way to buy back stuff. It's buy back any permanent. There's a Voracious Typhon, which fits our setup. Though we can go Witch's Vengeance in case we run into an opponent that goes wide. It's a bit of a safety valve. I'll take the safety valve. The rarity doesn't really matter here. Oh, there's a Mesmeric Vented. Temple of Abandon. Okay, so no real picks for us here. I'll take the land, see if we could go Jund, so we keep our options open. That's pretty much the plan here. So, but as far as things are concerned, we're trying to go big with a slight possible reanimation team. So we have potential for big creatures. There's a Kenrith's transformation if we need to. Yeah, it draws us a card. It buys us time. We can turn our opponent's big creatures into a more manageable elk. It's either that or Skin Witch. I think I'll take the Kenrith's transformation. Not so sure what we got in terms of card draw, but we will give this one a try. But also note that we passed quite a lot of black removal, so we might be in trouble in that regard. Are we married to our black picks? Not quite. If I see some really good red cards, although based on what we got back on that pick 9, I doubt we're going to get any good red pack 2. We might get some pack 3, but probably not pack 2. And wow, picks are taking quite a while here. So let's see. Yes, ramp would be nice, but this one is otherwise just basically resilient. And also it's just return lands you control, so it only sets you back in terms of time. Unless your opponent has an exile effect, this guy will keep coming back for Crocodile the Crossing. Without small creatures, this is really not great. Then again, we could just slap it on the Carrion Grub. Actually, no. At the very least, we can bin the Crocodile. Carrion Grub becomes a 5/5 for 4 mana, so might be relevant. Again, it's a bit of a non-bow with Multani. As far as actual creatures are concerned, we've only got like what 1, 2, 4 creatures. Not such a great start. Okay, we're expecting some packs to start filling in. Looks like Paul's timed out. Okay, we do have quite a medley. So, yuck, it's another 0. So not a great combo with Grub. I'd rather have it over the area list though. So we'll take the embodiment. Guild Mage's form. We got a Wildwoods. Wow, we got. You know what? We're getting so many zeros. I don't think the Carrion Grub's gonna fit. We can potentially go big, but wow. I don't. Yeah, we're not. We got so many zeros. Like this is a 0. This is a 0. If we can get the Troy as a mute, the Absan mutate guy, I think you can get back stuff. That would be very interesting. So Pride. None of these interest me. Scattered Groves might fit. So at least we do have a white option open. If I have to pick one of these two, it's probably the Ronom Unicorn. And Integrity Intervention. Okay. So let's see. We have Mana Ramp in Migration's Path. Probably don't want to pick that one first. Got Bolas' Citadel. This is a way to... It's a way to start unloading stuff, but... Wow. It's going to be very painful for us to use. There's Driven to Despair. Whenever this creature deals combat damage, draw a card. It actually does... It's interesting. It's not that powerful. It's a way to draw cards at least. It's also... But it's not... Yeah, would I rather have Bolas' Citadel? Would I rather just take the Godless Shrine, open us up to a white splash? I might just take the Migration Path because we are... I think I'll just take the Migration Path because we want to hit high numbers. And this one helps. And we'll just see whatever is left over on the comeback. No big creatures. Bolas' Citadel... I'm looking to main green, so Bolas' Citadel's kind of out. Okay, there's a Nickel Bolas Ravager. We can go wide in Imperious Perfect. It's an army in a can, so we can't complain. There's a Senjure Vampire. It's not flying. Druid of the Cowl. It's ramp. It's fine. We don't have any other elves, so this one's literally gonna be... She's literally gonna carry herself. There's a Seeker Squire, which does help. It's between Squire and Cowl. I'd probably just take the Druid of the Cowl. Okay, we got an Nylea Keen Eye. This is perfect. It cuts down the casting cost of all our creatures, so that's fine, and buys us stuff, so we'll definitely take Nylea. We passed up Farika's Libation and a few other not so notables. The Constellation's kind of fine. Not super exciting. I will note that we are heavily leaning on the 4 slot, so we need a lot of mana ramp in the early curve. Mana ramp or card draw or scry, basically one of those effects. We don't need to have a ton of bombs, but we do need to have good ones. So I was asking for card. Okay, we're here. Here we're in for a bind. If we're gonna go for card draw, it's definitely Mouth to Feed. If we're gonna go for reanimation, there's back 4 more, and this is instant speed, so this is actually quite perfect. In fact, it still works with Embodiment of Agonies. It still works with Multani. It doesn't work with the Wildwood Scourge. But I think I'll take the Mouth to Feed because it's a creature in card draw. This is probably... I will definitely take this one first because we need to solidify our early plays. We know we kind of have a lock on late game. We just need to solidify our early game. Well, I guess we can just take a Titanout Rex. This counts as an early game play. And actually cycling this one into Carrion Grub is reasonable. If we have a slot for one more card, I will put the Carrion Grub in. Actually, if we get back 4 more or a similar card, basically we need 2 pieces of reanimation for me to reconsider. Acolyte of Affliction, kind of reanimation, but it's like halfway there. I need 2 pieces of actual reanimation for me to consider Carrion Grub. So, Citizen Training, that's a draw card effect. There's a Lead the Stampede. Any number of creature cards. So it gets us creatures, not so much into lands. I guess it's fine. There's also a Chainweb Arachne which we can escape, and if we go into Mill Plan, that's also fine. We also have a bit of a vulnerability to flyers, so I guess I'll take that for now. So okay, we have 1/1 drop. Let's be honest, we're not playing this as a 1 drop. Then yeah, I'm tempted to put that. So we didn't exactly get our White Splash, so no reason to run Scattered Groves quite yet. Here's our other piece of reanimation, Doom Necromancer. I guess I will take that. There's Mindstone as ramp. And this is fine too, but I will take the Doom Necromancer. And I will now put in the Carrion Grub. So that plan is kind of live. So between Eldest Reborn, so we just need to balance our mana currently. I'm not liking Embodiment so much, not liking... There's a Titanic Brawl for removal. There's a Fauna Shaman, which... This actually feeds our strategy. We can discard a card that we can't play, search for a card that we can actually play. I'd rather have it over Izoni because our top end's way too thick. Titanic Brawl is fine, but we'll take the Fauna Shaman. And the comeback, we got Silver Smoke Ghoul. This is actually another... There's a Driven to Despair whenever... It only gives Trample. It only gives Menace. The Menace might actually be reasonable. The Driven... And we do have enough early creatures that... No, I don't have much in life gain, so I will take the Driven. Well, we actually do have some life gain, but we're only gaining 2 life at a time. I'll take the Terrarian. Okay, here's the Constellation card. It only puts the rest in the bottom, so not quite what we're looking for. I'll take the Libation as removal. Backformer came back, so we also have a Macabre Waltz. I'm taking the Backformer. So... Great Henge we can cast for cheap. Okay, there's a Woodland Champion. There's a Rolex that we are not casting. Woodland. We'll take it as an option. Sometimes you just need a 2-drop. Well, let's hate out the Psychic Corrosion. Enchantress's Presence. We only have a few enchantments. Now, if there's a reason to run white, it's probably Mothra. Getting these guys back is fine. There's a Zaga Triumph, so we can actually splash blue. There's a Cultivate. It's virtually an uncommon, but this is also very good. Got another piece of reanimation in Unbreakable Bond. We might have too many at this point. I will take the Cultivate for now. Yes, we'll take the Cultivate and we'll hope to run into more. Okay, then as for there's Timorate calls the dead, but we don't. There's not a lot of creatures we actually want to. It does get the zombies, but how many creatures do we have? We're actually quite short. I might rather just take the Hierophant because it helps our mill strategy. And it's a Death Touch creature, which is very annoying. It's perfectly fine. There's Aurora of the Worm, which generates creatures for us. Spells you cast from your graveyard. We don't actually have escapes, so that's not it. There's a Gutter Bones. It gives us an early threat, but it messes up our mana base. Destiny Spinner. There's also a Treasure Map. This one helps us with our Scry. I think I will just take the Treasure Map. I kind of want this. Destiny Spinner. It means our spells can't be countered, which is fine, but we kind of need something more than that. I still need creatures, though. So I'll take the Solemn. That's definitely a creature that we can run anyway. There's Renata, Call of the Hunt. There's Arada. Cartouche of Ambition. Can be very annoying. Falmar Knight helps us draw cards. I might just take the Woodland Cemetery. As far as our mana base goes, we need some help. I'll take the Woodland Cemetery for now. Only because the other cards are not so exciting. Okay, there's a Calyx, but we don't exactly have any real good enchantments except Nylea and Eldest Reborn, so that's a nope. There's a Kenrith's Transformation set. I guess I just take Trashing Brontodon. This is a good one to take. There's also Hornbash. Wait, what did I take? Oh yeah, we took the Trashing Brontodon. Okay, we need to move faster. Affectionate. We're taking Affectionate in Drink. Basically removal. Yeah, we need to buff up our removal plans. So that means, I guess we can actually cut the Driven to Despair. We need to make space for. Wow, we're actually quite loaded here, so we actually need to make space for some cards. We need to cut our Force slot a bit. There's a Hunt the Weak. There's a Greater Sandworm, which we can cycle. Actually, cycling's going to be important here, too. It's also a good way to get this in the yard. I'd rather have... How much removal do we have? I'm going to select this one first. Yeah, select, go. So, we're going to cut the Grub. The Grub is fine. Okay, what are the weakest ones? Crocodile the Crossing is actually very weak at this point. I think that was one of my early picks. Great Henge is fine. Titan Oxyreg is fine. Wildwood Scourge, it's very flexible. But it's actually not so great either. Embodiment's also not very great here as well. We can actually cut that one. So if we're going to cut, it's probably going to be black. I guess we can cut Terrarion. Druid of the Cowl, I guess let's keep that. Fauna Shaman, sure. Libation, we'll cut that one. That's a bit iffy. I'll admit, the Eldest Reborn right now, it's iffy as removal, but it's great when you hit Act 3, so there we go. Carrion Grub is still a question mark. Witch's Vengeance, it's kind of fine, I guess. Like, what are the only... If we're naming elves, we get to take out some elves of our own. If we name humans, we're only taking out Doom Necromancer if ever. Okay, there's Timurit. There's Status Statue, which is very flexible removal. There's an Unbreakable Bond, but I think we have way too many at this point. Eldest, back for more. You know what? I don't think we can... I'll take Status Statue because that's an instant speed removal. And we got Branching Evolution. This is win more. I might just take the Vicious Offering. -2/-2 is fine. Actually, I'll take Timurit. We're supposed to get all these all these cogwork pieces to work together. Let's hate out the Sphinx. Okay, if we need card draw, there's foreboding fruit. I guess I'll take that's an option. Ballot Gorger, we're never gonna kick this. Ozolith, interesting. Take Calyx, take the Anointed Procession. So we really need to make several cuts here. Like, and if we're making cuts, it's definitely on the non-creature side. Okay, let's first add this one. I also want to lean more towards green, so let's find some more black cards to cut. If I'm gonna cut black cards, that probably means I'm gonna be off. I'm actually gonna cut the Witch's Vengeance. I'm gonna be off of double black. Treasure Map helps us fine. The statue's kind of fine. Timurid Calls the Dead, maybe fine. We have a Cultivate. We have a Mount to Feed. We have 1, 2. We have 3 Cyclers with Migration Path, so I could literally cut 1 land. At least that's my math. And we have a Druid of the Cowl. I guess I could just cut Chainweb Arachnir. That one's a... Okay, so this is my mix. It's a bit iffy. 9, 8. And we're running 16 lands only off the back of Treasure Map, Druid of the Cowl, Cultivate, and Migration Path. So we have some ramp. Solemn Simulacrum's also kind of ramp. Our curve is very high. So if we run into a really fast deck, we're in trouble. We might even have to start... I might even consider putting in the Witch's Vengeance as an anti-fast deck strategy. Because what's our removal suite? Status Statute. Kenrith's Transformation, not quite removal for early game. Hierophant. Yeah, so we really need to hit a lot of stuff early to get things to work. If we can hit our late game, that's very good. But if we can't, that's a problem. Wildwood Scourge... I guess I could just cut that for, say, a Terrarion or the Witch's Vengeance. Because as far as creatures go, no, if we're gonna have to cut the non-creature at this rate. Technically, this Mount to Feed is a creature. Yeah, Treasure Map's not a creatures. Nylea Keen-Eyed. Okay, so, and well, technically Mount to Feed's a creature, but Nylea Keen-Eyed is not a creature, so that's something to consider. Nylea Keen-Eyed does work as ramp, I guess. So, you know what? Wait, did we even? I don't think we did. I don't think we took the. Yeah, I don't think we got the other one. So we only have 2 pieces of reanimation. Eldest Reborn back for more. I did not get the 3rd one. It's a bit of a shame, but I guess that should be fine. So definitely want to keep the Carrion Grub at this rate. In that case, we cannot be too... I might actually cut the Timurid Calls the Dead, put in a green card. Green or black's fine. I guess I could put Farika's Libation for more removal. Let's see. It's a risk, but I'm going... So we have to basically... Yeah, we're going to have to mulligan very aggressively. We'll see how well this does, so... So we'll give this one a try. We'll see how things turn out. Not so sure how excited I am for this. We are going to have to be the aggressive deck, so we can't be leaning too much on removal. So at least we got... Okay, we got turn 3 Brontodon. Opponent's taken 1 mulligan, so I'm going to keep at this rate. So, turn 3 Brontodon into maybe a turn 4 Carrion Grub. Okay, Oh, this is interesting. So we can cycle the Titanot Rex, and if we can hit Carrion Grub, we're fine. Now this is where we hope. I did not see much of exiling the graveyard. Okay, so opponent is super early aggro, but not so much. We did hit our 4 mana, so I'm definitely dropping Brontodon turn 3. We'll make our opponent answer Carrion Grub. If they answer it, then we drop the Doom Necromancer. Our opponent is representing colors of lots of removal though, so that's a concern. Burning Fist Minotaur, okay. So they're in the discard plan. Or it's self-discard plan. Okay, we hit our Great Henge. Pharika's Libation will only just take this out, so they might have an enchantment? Either case, let's drop the Brontodon. Let's force our opponent to start discarding cards to get this one as a 4-1. So next turn, Carrion Grub. And we can get Great Henge on the cheap. Opponent has the Flame Spill. Okay. So there goes that piece of removal. And this one's only 4, so this one's X5, so I guess we're fine here. Now this is a real combo. 11-5! And, okay, we milled out a few lands, so... But at least we got a cheap Great Henge if our opponent can't mess with this. I'm not too convinced. Heartless Act is around. There's a lot of cheap removal, so we definitely want to drop Great Henge as soon as possible. Okay, we're not blocking. But we get... Well, we get 4 mana back. Is our opponent gonna try to... Okay, if I were to return a permanent, probably not the Titanot. We got 1, 2, 3, so this is a good way to get stuff cheaper. But it's a non-creature. Opponent's gonna auto-block. Is he gonna let Angret die? Oh, he's gonna let Angrath die. Okay. Wait, what permanent could I get back? I can get back a permanent so I can mess with this one. Also makes it a 3-4, so that's relevant. Just trying to get a little life back. Just need to do some quick math here. So we draw a card, buff this one, so... Oh, got Eldest Reborn, so that's another plan. We just need land, so you know what? We'll take land. And play land. Opponent might have a Languish. Well, I'm actually fine if our opponent has a Languish. I'm willing to take damage off this one. Next turn, we could play Eldest Reborn. Oh, opponent concedes. Carrion Grub doing some good work. Okay, so we got our first win off that one. That's actually very fine. Let's see, check time check. Okay, got about an hour before I have to log on to a meeting, but if the games go this fast, I guess we're good. Opponent, I think our opponent also figured out that we must be in the reanimation plan. There's a very good chance that most of us were probably in the same queue, so we would have. So we probably would have seen some cards. Okay, I can cycle into a Cultivate. I can also just play Mount. I'm definitely keeping this. I'm definitely going to cycle Migration Path. Okay. Definitely want to hit the Forest in case we draw into another one. I might end up just casting... Okay, don't hit the Forest. Opponent is going to take a while, so I will cycle the Migration Path. Oh, they're also on ramp 2. That changes everything. I'm still gonna cycle this though. We have the cultivate already. Opponent is in 3 colors, so that's something to consider. So I'm actually gonna run them out to feed first. If our opponent has removal, I'd rather have them spend it now. I can play the Trashing Brontodon next turn. Hold it up for anti-artifact enchantment shenanigans. And we'd be able to draw potentially 2 cards. X equals 3. Okay. I'm gonna offer the trade. Opponent doesn't take, so we'll play this one. Also have to keep an eye on our mana because we might be able to use Fauna Champ on our first Iroan games. Gets a 1/1. So the interesting thing we can do is we can draw our cards first. Offer the trade again. Okay, does our opponent have a combat trick? Has an Infuriate. Okay, that's fine. Now, unfortunately, I cannot have him put 3 more counters, so I will actually sack this now. We got our cards. We got the Multani next turn, so yeah, I'm just... So far, our life is kind of fine, so we got that going. Champion of Lambhold, we'll need to remove that eventually. Taking 4. Now, let's hope our opponent doesn't have exile-based... Oh. No black, so... No black, no white, so maybe no exile-based removal. Bounce would be annoying. I'm definitely going to run the Cultivate next. Spark Double, copying... Lambhold? Okay, so there's the strategy. We're pretty much not drawing lands anymore at this point. Okay. Creatures less than this power can't block, so... I have to assume Solemn Simulacrum can't block, so I'm gonna hold back Multani. Let's check. We don't have much in our graveyard yet, so no shenanigans there. 5-9. We're actually very close to hard casting Titanout Rex if we ever draw it. Oh wow, this is interesting. And this one's gonna grow out of control. So I really need to remove these Champions of Lambhold. Okay, there's probably a reason for Witch's Vengeance after all. Okay, Solemn Simulacrum's not gonna block. 5, 9, 10... Since this is never gonna block, I'm just gonna swing with it. Let's... Okay, opponent did not let that die. Yeah, we're actually in a bit of a pickle here. That is a very good synergy, but and our opponent gets to duplicate again. Yeah, we're gonna have to start swinging hard, guys. And I need to discard creature cards here, so this one's not gonna do it. Yeah, so we got 10-10, but we're about to get overrun. Oh, that's a good... Now, this is very impressive. If this is what we have to look forward to... Our opponent's gonna try to rush this. Yeah. Wildwood Scourge. We don't have any direct removal either, so that might be a problem. Cartouche of Knowledge, give it flying. And yeah, I guess we're overrun, because these guys can't block. This has reach, so we could block that. Does this have trample? No, no trample. Yeah, kind of got overloaded, but we can kind of keep blocking this until we can actually remove it. That might be a problem though. There's a back for more. Oh, I wish I didn't return it at this rate. I could have just... Yeah, I forgot about these other interactions. But you know what? These are gonna grow out of hand. Our opponent just has to jumpstart. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Wow. So this is where the lack of removal is gonna be a problem. We did get a decent start. We just needed a way to punch through. I think me holding back on defense was also a mistake. I should have just started swinging. Sure, it takes out all their smaller creatures, but it sets a precedent. So that wasn't so. So at least we got a good idea. We know we can make it work. We just happen to have, and we can expect to see a lot more rare effects that are busted. Like what did we run into? Okay, quasi duplicate. That one was busting combo with Lamphold. So there's a quasi duplicate and a spark double. I'm pretty sure there are more clone effects. We did see a Mythos a while ago. So definitely holding on to migration path. We're awfully slow here. Yeah, sad to say this. I'm gonna keep this. We can wait a while for our next land, but we do have to hit that next land. Opponent's so far looking like mono blue. Okay, we got a mouth to feed, so I still want to hold on off to this because we do have a few 6-drops on hand. Opponent so far hasn't played anything. I have to assume counters. Okay, this is not Slither Wisp. That's double black. Okay, we hit our 4th land. That's the good news. We'll at least run them out first. If our opponent has no counters. So this could be some sort of mid-range. We'll definitely swing with this, with the Hippo. Try to bait our opponent. Farika's spawn. Okay, definitely want to cast Indrik next turn, so gonna migration path. No attacks. This is gonna be painful when it escapes, so might not matter. I might have to fight it anyway. I could also play Hierophant, but well, we do need something for Carrion Grub. Again, Multani is a non-bow with this. The Indrik is fine. Opponent hits. Okay, their mana is interesting. This could be like a 3-man. This could be like a multicolor deck. Opponent might have a counter spell. Does have a counter spell. Okay, so we're kind of leaning on our reanimation effects at this point. I could also just cast a Hierophant, mill some stuff, but opponent's cycling. I guess I cast Carrion Grub. I can also just cast... Actually, I could just cast Fauna Shaman. The plan would be to... Well, we need to hit a creature. This is the only one that's a removal base, so we need to actually reanimate that. There's a back for more. Opponent is starting to get cards in the graveyard, so no attacks. Let's see if our opponent casts something. Generally, Spectral Sailor. Let's see if he goes for the draw card. No, pass back to me. Wait. Okay, fine, let's pass. Oh, no. Draw a card. Yes, drew a card. Oh, we get to take out... Okay, I'll let it resolve. So... We'll first take out Farika's spawn. And we'll then take out... Yeah, take out Spectral Sailor too. So... 1... 2. Hey, sometimes it happens. Now let's check the 3 other cards, so our opponent could escape this one, force us to sack, so I guess that's fine. It means they spend all their mana on it, so it leaves us open to, say, casting Hierophant Shaman. We can discard Multani. I could have also opted to just leave the Spectral Sailor alone when it has Midnight Clock. Okay, not enough mana to escape this one, so we kind of have free reign unless our opponent has a spell to cast. Order of Midnight gets... What do you get back? Gets back Spectral Sailor. Okay. Okay, we hit the Greater Sandworm. Okay. I'm gonna swing first. This might be the only time I ever get to swing with the Hippo. So I want to load the board up a bit, so Hierophant down. We mill 3 cards. Hopefully they're not... Hopefully it's not... Okay, Doomed Necromancer, so there goes 1 Reanimator. Tap that. Let's play Fauna Shaman. Let's get multiple creatures on board. Opponent plays a Spectral Sailor. Could be like a Flyer's board control. So, in theory, I could... This would make it a 5-6, but in theory, I could sack the Fauna Shaman. Okay, we'll take the hit. Let's assume our opponent recast Farika Spawn. If they do, I definitely want to keep the Hierophant alive. I guess I'm fine with keeping Fauna Shaman, letting Fauna Shaman die. Ugin's Conjurant, X equals 8. Now, this prevents damage, so the Death Touch is not going to do much here. It's a Titanout Rex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not getting it back quite yet. Okay, if I were to bin this, what 6-drop can I get? Because otherwise what I could do is... Yeah, cycle, draw a card. Trample, put a tramp... Okay, put a trap. Got an Acolyte of Affliction, so we get to get stuff back. Get an 11-5. Okay. Okay, there's our target. There's the target we're getting back. We could also just get back Titanout Rex. So the interesting thing is I can just block the Conjurant with Carrion Grub. We're definitely going to be taken out on the air. So we do want to drop Multani soon. Some lands hit the bin. Can't get... Unfortunately, our status statue is gone, so we're going to miss that one. I am definitely going to swing at Carrion Grub. Even if it just eats an Ugin's Conjurant, that's fine. Let's say our opponent... Our opponent can escape now. If our opponent escapes, I'll just sack the Hippo token. Then I'll play out the... Play the Carrion Grub. Water Knot. Well... I guess our opponent is... Yeah, it's also unfortunate we binned our Doom Necromancer. There goes our combo. I will still block with the Hippo token, but I think our opponent's just going to hit us on the air. And our Trashing Brontodon's also in the graveyard, so that's also another issue. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only when their counters put on creatures we control, so that's an issue. This is actually a good bin target, though. So I'm gonna play this out. At least it's a reach trample 7/7. Does our opponent have counter spells again? Come on. Seriously? Okay. Oh, it's a 10th. Wait. Each land you control and each land in your graveyard. Okay. That. So. Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send the hippo up front. So Fauna Shaman will probably just discard the Wildwood Scorch. Then we can actually just play the feed part if we need. Yeah, I forgot this was counted lands in your graveyard too. Opponent is going to try to reset just to cut this one down. It also cuts down the Carrion Grub, which, well, it doesn't really matter at that point. Baron, Tolarian, Archmage, so probably bounces Multani, bounces the Hippo token. Okay, that's fine. It did its part. This actually helps me in that I probably won't mill out. I'm actually very close. Opponent probably should just Farika spawn. Okay, resolve. Each opponent sacrifices a non-Gorgon creature. Resolve. Water not looking so great anymore. We're still taking up damage from up in the air. Oh wait, our opponent didn't read. Yeah, I would have said the same thing too. Now let's look for, okay, Solemn, Nylea. Oh, you only have so few creatures left. I guess I will play Nylea, get Nylea. Okay, we hit the Kenrith's transformation, so draws us a card. Okay, we'll play Nylea first. I can then play Acolyte of Affliction. And not looking for lands. Yeah, let's get back to Indrik. Yeah, good game. Opponent concedes because we were eventually what we would have done is we would have taken out the, then we would have just kept them. I guess we would just kept them bumping up against our opponent with Multani at that point. So there we go. That's actually a very good one. It's a bit of a long game, so that might be a bit of a concern with regards to time. Like, how much time do... Oh, I still have about half an hour plus. I'm liking the synergies here. Even if we milled some of our synergy cards because of the way the cube works, you're kind of loaded on them. Okay. So, worst case, we have a turn 2/1/1. I probably will keep this on off the back of a Solemn Simulacrum. We're in real trouble if we're facing an aggro deck, but sometimes that's the way it is. I guess I could have mulled, but okay, we might be in real trouble at this point. Am I willing to play a turn 2/1/1? No, maybe a turn 3/2/2 is fine. Okay, that click was weird. Let's see what our opponent has. Definitely Griffin area. Okay, life gain, so we need to have something with reach. I definitely want to play Solemn Simulacrum soon. It might also mean that... Okay, our opponent's has many colors. There's a Silver Smoke Ghoul, so... I guess I do play the Wildwood Scourge. Just put something on the table. Next turn we go Solemn Simulacrum, then we... I know our opponent has life gain, but think of it this way: if they have life gain, they probably would have drawn a card anyway. So gain life equal to its power. Oh, not enough. Okay, so we lucked out there, but we do need something that can tangle with this. So we milled the Great Henge, and we milled the Back for More. Great Henge we can still get with Acolyte of Affliction. Back for More maybe not so much. This one's actually good with Eternalize. There's an Archon of Redemption, that's a problem. And... okay. Ooh, Synergy's coming. Okay, we got Cultivate. We're gonna take 5 damage on the air. We need to have a blocker at least. So we're at least holding up blockers just to dissuade these guys. We'll be taking 5 damage a turn. We need Multani. Let's take... Witch of the Moors. Okay, but no. This has Death Touch, so that's an issue. Okay, opponent is... I will trade. He'll draw me a card at least. I do need to fight this one though. Draw a card. Nope, it's a Forest. It's an Acolyte of Affliction. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is greatest power among creatures you control, so it doesn't quite combo. If I play Nylea, I can have room for a Doom Necromancer. I probably just play Acolyte first. Let's see what we bin. Greater Sandworm. Greater Sandworm, Carrion Grub. We'll take the Greater Sandworm. I guess we played the Doom Necromancer, but no, this is gonna be a very... So at least we're gonna force a trade between these two. Leon in Vanguard. Yikes, they're gonna gain... Okay. So gain 1 life. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Oh, yikes. So we're gonna lose Acolyte. This is gonna be a problem. If we can't remove the Vanguard, it's kinda over. Okay, sack this. So we have to at least take out that combo. But we're in trouble with another combo now. Okay, we're gonna take this one out. Then we're gonna play the Doom Necromancer. Next turn, sack him, buy the Indrik back. Again, hold back so because we can afford to go down to 5. I don't think we can afford to go down any lower. It's a problem if our... I would actually like it if our opponent sacks now. I will end up sacrificing the Hierophant for sure. They are about to Eternalize, so that's an issue. Yikes. So, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And discard a card. They conveniently have 1 card. Okay, opponent does not take it out. But we're dead on the air at this point, so it was a nice try. Have to take this out. Yeah, there's still too many creatures for us to handle, so the Greater Sandworm isn't gonna help us. We'll We're just gonna cycle it, see if we hit something better. Nope, we hit the land. I'll just say good game at this point. Yeah, good game. Yeah, we got widely overwhelmed. The Griffin Airy was a very good. Yeah, all the tricks were there. Our opponent didn't have it consistently, but when they, yeah, that Archon of Redemption was really busted. So we really need some more pinpoint removal. I'm kind of tempted to put in the Libation now. So we're currently at 2 wins, 2 losses. No, we do have the Libation. Am I tempted to put in Witch's Vengeance? Because our problems have always been to go wide. You know what? We'll live or die by our choices. I don't feel like we could cast Witch's Vengeance, but if that last hand was any consideration, we are really cutting it thin. I might end up cutting an Ilea for that, I suppose. Okay, we have our Libation, we have our Status Stature, we can cycle Titanot Rex. And we can cast Trashing Brontodon, so we are flush with options here. Our opponent could still have the most busted deck in the world, so that might be a problem. Okay, Temple of Epiphany. Also, our lack of lands might have been an issue too. Okay, so we definitely want to cycle Titanot Rex. We really want to hit land number 4. So far, our opponent looks like multicolored good stuff. No, I'm actually not going to scry because I do want to cast Trashing Brontodon. We did hit the land anyway. Next turn, we're going to play Solem. So we can take our time on the treasure map. We don't have to run this out quickly. Does our opponent have burn? No, just blink. Okay. So buys us a little time. Actually buys... Yeah, because it's literally a do nothing. There's a do something. One, two, three, four, five, six. We will hit lands eventually, so... Yeah, might as well do it now. I could have just replayed the Brontodon, but no real rush there. So next turn, we will play Solemn Simulacrum. If our opponent drops something really good, we also have the option to status stat. Okay, we're calling that option now. Although... So our problem is Field of the Dead, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So needs 2 more different kinds of lands. Yeah, we still need to start hitting lands. Yet to run Solemn Simulacrum quite yet, but Cathartic Reunion, opponent had to discard stuff. Ooh, they do have black. Okay, we hit our own black. Alright. So we're gonna hold off this. If our opponent somehow attacks, we might... Okay, makes a zombie. So we definitely want to cast Titanot Rex on... Oh wow, this is actually an interesting combo. Lockmere Serpent. It does have flash, so it didn't have to do it now. Does he have an... Doesn't have an actual island, so can't make it unblockable. So we are in the lookout for lands. Do Necromancer. It's okay, but a bit too early. Let's put that down for now. Okay, we whiffed on the land. So I'm gonna play Nylea Keen-Eyed. Our opponent could theoretically go for Kroxa. We just have to dissuade our opponent, but we still have to answer on Lockmere Serpent. I could have just played the Druid then, but I want to have the option to also flip this. Okay, another zombie. Let's see, our opponent could sack that one. Does our opponent have a counter spell? Removal. At least we blocked first, so we're not taking the damage from here. No. So our opponent could start exiling cards to get it back. Wait, is it from an opponent's graveyard? Ooh, yikes. That's a problem for us. Okay, we got another land, so we got that one. Body double. As a copy of any card in the graveyard. Re-enters as Golos. You know what? Let's activate now. So Affectionate Indrik, not quite gonna hit that. No, I have a land already. We need to look for actual answers at this point. I'll be honest, it's still looking sketchy. Kinda wish the status statue did more with that one, but I'll take it. So okay, we got exactly 4, so I'm not gonna mill anymore. Yeah, I'm just gonna run out the Titanout Rex. Let's force our opponent to have removal. Probably just oh wait, Z. Wrong mana. Now our opponent could just cast the next top 3 broken spells, so that's an issue. At least we can use Affectionate Indrik to cut down the... Okay, so land, Shadow Spear, Unburial Rites. What can the... If they Unburial Rites, it's gonna be They got 2 copies of Golos? Wow. Actually, I wouldn't mind if they went for Golos. It sure gets them another land, but at least we... So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can still swing with this one. But if our opponent definitely plays this out... They definitely want to play Shadow Spear. They play... Okay, get a Guild Mage. Sure, draw more cards. Play the land, get another... Yeah, this one's very... So I underestimated the level of bustedness here. And they can Unburial Rites again. Let's see the Unburial Rites again. Probably Lockmere Serpent. So they'll force us to get Venomous Hierophant. We can actually play Hierophant into Indrik. Indrik stomp the Guild Mage. Yeah, we need to start putting more bodies on the table. Acolyte of Affliction. Okay, hey, that was my strategy. Ooh. This is probably the one form... Oh, it's in Historic, but it's the one format where it's really broken. Okay, so first... Let's play this. Snipe the Guard Mage. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, wait, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's 13. Oh, there's an Eldest Reborn which we can use too. I can also just play out the Hierophant, but I Yeah, I want to get rid of that option from our opponent at least. So, yeah, okay, we'll go next. So, I'll pass on the Titanot Rex first. I could actually have swung with Nylea, but I'm gonna wait a bit. Just a gut feeling. Opponent could recast Golos. How many cards do they have left? 13 versus 21. And our opponent didn't equip. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm trying to think if our opponent has a card that gives everything Death Touch. That's the only... Or just pumps everything. You know what? We'll take 2 otherwise. Rat Effect? Rat Effect is possible. It would also make our opponent's Lockmere Serpent live again. Electro Dominance, X equals 10. Okay, at least you had to spend everything on it. So we'll resolve that. Cast their own Titanot Rex. Wow, this is gonna be a problem. Okay, we're definitely drawing a card. Wow. 5-color Bustedness is also very possible. So we have to be on the lookout for that. Okay. Got a Wildwood Scourge, got a Great Henge. Okay, technically our opponent can activate this now. So, I'm gonna go with this first. Let's force our opponent to start clearing the board. And as long as our opponent's very busy, they might not even bother with the Lockmere Serpent. Okay. 1, 2... Oh, I could have cast it for more. So, we're guaranteed to take 5 damage. So I actually realize now that this is a very good combo. Some of the things you realize when you don't... Now, our opponent's down to 12 cards. We're down to 18. So, we're literally just trying to survive, and it's looking sketchy. Double Golos, Field of the Dead, every color possible. Opponent starts milling their stuff. Okay, so we lose Hierophant. That's expected. We can make them lose a card unless they have a... Yeah, they have ways to reanimate all their good stuff. That's a problem. And they have a Mortify too. What the heck? And they have the mana to rebuy the Lockmere Serpent, so we're literally living off the top of our deck now. So, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... That's actually a bad idea. They have Unburial Rights after all. Yeah, Unburial Rights is quite busted here. So at least Nylea can absorb some damage, so that's some good news for us. We're basically hoping our opponent burns the Unburial Rights right away. Opponent should be equipping the Shadow Spear. Yeah, but now we're in danger of okay, there's a Croxa. Got Cultivate. Might as well do that first. Okay, there's a land. Let's activate that. So reveal the top card. Oh, if that doesn't, okay, graveyard. Then I guess we can cultivate. Let's activate one more. Ugh. I probably should concede at this point. So I'm probably just activating this again, just not to die, but it's pretty much good game at this point. Yeah, we kind of whiffed really badly here. Migration path. Yeah, that's game here. So we got a few wins, but we just ran into more busted decks than this one. So we have a plan. We just, yeah, this is kind of why I personally advocate for having Blood Moon. I'm sure everyone loves to play all the colors, but there has to be a balance for that. You have to remember that that's one of the fundamental things about Magic in terms of how they balance it out so that no one just gets to play all the best cards. We need, I guess there might be a Field of Ruin style effect, but we kind of need more. I'm actually happy Zendikar Rising is coming out. They have a 2-mana land destruction spell coming out. Sure, they can get a basic, but it's a lot more fair. You can so we actually have multiple plans there. So as far as returns go, this is actually quite bad. But you know what? It's a learning experience. At least we learned something new. That's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Yeah, basically, if we ever do Tinker's Cube Draft again, we just have to go even. We have to go even more levels of broken. It's really broken out there. I guess the possible strategy you can do is just draft all the really powerful lands first, then try to get the rares that come out afterwards. That's kind of a solid. That was a solid strategy, at least in Legacy Cube, if I'm not mistaken, or some sort of modern cube. I guess we can go with that one. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, stay safe. Yeah, take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone.